Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about my test that I designed and applied in my practicum school. And I just try to create something meaningful and authentic. And so I just contextualize the questions and I try to make them in a real life scenarios. So the Unite was that I aim is the Unite 6, the World Heritage, and all the things in the Unite is about the unit, about the map book. And so let's have a look at the text. Let's have a look at the test first. I have vocabulary part, grammar part, reading part, and the last one is writing part. The alignment is a little bit weird because I try to publish it in a PDF model. That's why it's like that. But normally everyone is really like neat and tidy. But the problem is about the PDF converter. Normally, like after the part 3 reading, that comes, and then the question comes here. But unfortunately, I'm sorry about it. It's like that in the video, but in the real life, I might have the example, but let me look up my drawer. No, I don't have the paper one. But normally it's really neat, and I will send it, Hujam, I will send it the normal one to you. Let's have a look at the vocabulary part. I focused on the vocabulary and the grammar, which I connected to the real life context, and I have reading text about a famous historical site. Uh, it was about Egypt, and it's talking about the history of the Egypt. And the other one is a writing task. I try to make it something meaningful and something a little bit contextualized, and I put a postcard here to make it authentic a little bit more. But the postcard a little bit fails, but I will be talking about it in the later of the video. Let's have a look at the parts first. In the first part, I have put the vocabulary, and it's talking about the visiting the trip about the Great Wall of China. And it says, while visiting, you took some notes, but some words are missing. I try to make it something like close tests, and I gave the vocabulary here to fill the blanks. It worked, and it really took their attraction because they were not like uh, familiar with close tests since they're ninth graders. It worked really good. And in the part 2, in the grammar part, I said you found a time machine and it needs to be reordered, the events of your trip to the Mount Nemrut. Uh, Using those Turkish sites, using ancient Turkish sites, took their attraction really good because after the exam, it was like we can say it as a washback effect. After the exam, they asked each other, "Where is the Mount Nemrut? Where is the Great Wall of China? How does it look like?" And they really look at from the smartboard. And I put events and I said, please use Magical words above. And these are the Magical words, the sequencing words, and they made it really good. But some of them said like, uh, how am I going to decide the which one is first? It was a little bit confusing for them since they're ninth graders, but most of them made really, really good. Okay, let's have a look at the second one. On the second one, I said we have a little flaw and complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs to help her. It worked. They didn't like take um too much. They didn't give too much attention to the pro. Was it make it a little bit warmer to them, and they made it really well. But some of them, I guess, was not familiar with the past simple because those give us the past simple meaning. I'm looking at the results of the students. And the same time, I couldn't find it, I guess. Let me look at from my tablet and later. And then I said like stones from nearby cities to construct it. And in 226 BC, and they asked me the BC. I shouldn't have written like that. But I don't know. This worked really good for some students, but for some, they didn't get it. We have reading part. It was about the our visiting to Great Pyramid of Giza, and they just said like they made it really easily this one because the questions were on the text. They directly copy and pasted up um, for some questions. But like I said, do you think we should protect historical places like pyramids? Give one reason. They gave too much reason for this one, and they really think about it, and they wrote something about this one. And I said like I asked the synonym of some words to test their vocabulary knowledge again. They made it because it was not that much hard. Um, it was like decent reading text. And on the writing part, I said like choose one place from the units and like Troy, Petra, Göbekli Tepe. There was lots of thing on the units and write a postcard to your friend from that location. It was like actually really clear instruction and really neat instruction, but they couldn't understand it, and it was like 30 points at all, and they really failed from this part. Also, I said like to make it more easier, include where you are, what you have seen, how is the weather, one surprising fact about it, if you know, why your friends should come to visit, but like they failed in that section. And we see that with my mentor teacher, their writing abilities is really, really low rather than their reading, grammar, and vocabulary. I couldn't add the speaking part because it was not possible to make. It was not possible make for me a speaking exam because there were about 30 students. And I said I put the criteria, and they asked like, "What is that?" I said like, "It's your rubric and you're going to take some points from the premises from the here." But unfortunately, they try to solve it. They understood this section as some a part of exam. They didn't think it's like a point table. And I put a postcard here, but unfortunately, the woman who printed them made like blank paper here, and the postcard was on the back side and the reverse side of the paper. When they opened the like um opened the document, the first things that they have seen was the blank page, and the postcard was here. That's why, like, they most of them wrote their writing task to the blank paper, not onto the postcard. That's why it was a little bit weird moment to me to express the aim of the postcard actually. Okay, as you can see, the test includes different kinds of tasks to meet the needs of different learners, like some writing, some reading, some vocabulary, and some grammar. Some students are more confident with the rules of grammar, while others very confident with reading and writing. Most of them gets like um, total points from writing. That's why I include like all of the structure. I didn't wanted to make just reading or just vocab, just grammar tests. Just I wanted to include everything except for speaking. Um, also, the writing section, like for example, wasn't just about accuracy. It was about voice. It was about personal connection. It was about confidence. It was about their like writing. Like how can I say? How can I say like correct writing ability? Are they making any punto? Are they making any like grammar mistakes while they're writing? So the writing part was very, very decisive about their English proficiency. Also, I try to make it some like context, like our unit is about World Heritage, so I put a context about all the things to make them feel a little bit uh, actually let's say to make lower their anxiety. because when they see the exam, they said, "Wow, like it's not like normal yazılı. It's something different. It looks nice." And because of this section, they said, "Wow, it's like a college exams. It's not like our regular exams." That's why they that test took their attraction. In designing the tests, I followed not only technical principles like validity, reliability, practicality and tendency, but also like humanistic principles such as respecting the individual differences, reducing the stress, encouraging like their creative thinking, and fostering like their motivation, like to make their motivation higher. And I just try to set like if I were them, like I need to like be curious about the topic. So I just try to think like them. And let's have a look at the validity. Validity, I try to like examine all the map book and I try to put the highlighted vocabulary to my um, tests. So I I believe that I reflect all the learning elements on the book because it was saying like past simple and sequencing verse and writing abilities. Writing postcard was the thing on the book. So I just took it and I just manipulate the topic. I just like change the topic and put it into my text. And reliability. I'm sorry, reliability, and I I believe that I offer a fair and consistent structure because when I have a look at their results, let me look. The higher point was let me just a second. The validity we talk about the validity and reliability. The tasks are clear, and the writing task is graded with a rubric, as you can see. And I have a little bit different rubric, and to ensure the consistent and objective scoring. And the most of them took. I can find it. Yeah, I found it. Most of them took about like 60, 70, and some of them took 27. Gökçe Gündoğdu and her proficiency is really low. We know the teacher and the students, the golden boys, let's say, the golden boys of the classroom took like 90, 85, and the highest point was, I guess, 92. Uh, as far as I remember, I have like yeah 92, 92, 93 was 96, like the 96. It was very decisive because we discussed with our mentor and she said like your test was really decisive. It was really geçerli because it was like it showed us who knows and who doesn't know. So that it was really good. Okay, let's have a look at the um, I applied the test to like 28 students, and their scores like ranged from 27, as I said before, to 96, with an average of about like I calculated it was about 68 or something like that. But more importantly, the results taught me the stories, not just the numbers, actually. Some students express their love for history in their writing because they were really good, and the others struggled but still tried to do it, showing effort and growth because it was like achievement tests, and they just tried to show their knowledge about the past units. And a few asked me after the test, can we learn more about the past simple? Can you repeat the past simple? Can we revise the past simple? Because I guess two students come together and ask me, can we revise the past simple? Because I couldn't do anything on the exam. And this to me was the real success actually. the test opened a space for engagement, curiosity, and learning beyond the old unit. Because in the map we don't have that much space to practice, and the tests allow me to do it. And of course, there were challenges. A few students had difficulty to do the writing part and organizing their ideas the on the writing. And next time, I will give them the examples, like in the writing, like you can write something like that. And also, I forgot to add how many words or how many sentences you should write to their writing, and which is a little bit a struggle for me, because after a while they're doing the exam, I had to say like you have to write at least 5 sentences or like 70 or 80 words. And it was a little bit my mistake about the writing part. And but overall, I saw how a test, like when designing uh, with care and effort, can become a tool for support, not just evaluation. Because the washback effect of this test was about the past simple and the writing. Because they said like, Hojam, okay, uh, we are bad at on writing, so like, what can we do? Because some of them said I want to text with my friends on online, for which is like, I guess, foreigner or something like that. I don't have any opinion, but I'm not able to write. I'm always using the automatic correction thingy on my phone, and I want to write it correctly. And as you can see in the writing, it was not a good writing part. So like, how can we improve it? Some of them ask, some of them came for the past simple, another came for some of the vocabulary. They ask me magnificent, because they know like magnificent century from Muhtasham Museum, but they were saying, is that same like magnificent Muhtasham? Yeah. And those gave me the how can a test give some class, give some lecture to my student. So while designing a test, curiosity is really important, and the reliability is very important, because each questions has to be on the same level. And the other thing is really important. Let me take my notes. And the practicality, because it was like 5 pages exam, when it was not practical. I know, I admit, I tried to minimize it, but I couldn't do it, because the questions are too, if I get it like that, the questions will be like very, very tiny, and it will be like mixed with each other, combined with each other. So I made it 5 pages, and it was like printing it out them, it was not that much practical. So like, instead of putting different vocabulary parts, I will embed it to the reading part the next time, and the grammar part has to be different, and the writing part, of course, has to be different. But at least I could use the um, page vertically, and like divide it to 4 sections, like one section for reading, one section for writing, and the other section for grammar, or vice versa, whatever it is. And that will be much more practical. Um, we talk about the reliability, and we talk about the validity, because validity was high, availability was high, but about the writing, about the assessment of writing, I try to assess with my friends. He helps me, but I said like, please don't assess the writing. I'm going to assess it myself according to the rubric. If he assessed them, probably we would give different points to them. And other than that, if I said the different things, I guess I don't have anything to say. I said everything on my mind. Um, uh, no, I don't have anything. I was just looking at my notes, but I said everything about about my exam. Yeah, this assignment gave me a lesson, gave me a lecture about the how a test should be. And I got it. I really get it. Like, because you need to think everything. You shouldn't just think about the points. You shouldn't think just about the grades. You shouldn't think about just the topics. You need to think what you're going to, what is your aim. Yes, I wrote my objective here, but this is not enough. You should you should you should be thinking like writing CELTA. First, you need to design your objectives. First, you need to ask yourself, okay, I have like list of vocabulary, and which one is really important? Which one should I ask? Which one did I point it? Point which one did I point during the class? And the other one is grammar. Yeah, we have grammar topics, and I took the grammar topics directly. That's why you shouldn't think about that much. But the questions about the grammar is really important. And the reading part is you need to put some critical thinking questions, like I did in the fifth question, or like um, you need to extend the questions. I saw that because they're just copying and pasting the questions, and on the you can ask the synonyms or you can ask the antonyms, and the writing part a little bit failure for me. It would be like a little bit clearer, a little bit neat, but for me, it's clear, but for them, it's not. Yeah, that was all. It was an achievement test for for the ninth grader. It was about the World Heritage. It was about the ancient cities. I tried to contextualize it, and I put different section to my exam, and that was my assignment. Thank you for your listening, and that's all.